Hello guys and welcome. As you can see, I'm making another nightclub story, and so what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be going to the start of it and to the end of it, but I'm obviously going to be chopping it up into pieces because obviously I don't want it to be boring for you guys, and I might tell you some, like, not tips, but like what I do and how girls come over. So let's just get on with it. And now, just before I start, now there's this teacher. Now some of you are gonna know exactly who I'm on about, because obviously you're from my school and you're gonna know that teacher who I'm gonna be on about. And there's a teacher called Mr. Short, and he's probably gonna be watching this and in school, and I'm probably going to be in the class while I'm watching this, so hi Scott, right, so and he was there that night. So basically we were driving to Envy, and we got out of the car. James was taking his time, and we start walking. He made sure he had everything, and I had a look around, because there were still people outside smoking, like the girls basically, and there was this alleyway. And I saw someone move in the alleyway, and they like poked their head out, and suddenly it was Mr. Short. And I was like, why would he be in like an under 18 nightclub? And the first thing what came into my head was that he loved young girls, even though he has a kid of his own, and he's got a wife. And I think he got married now, so maybe he's getting bored with his wife and he wants to get some more young stuff. I don't know. And when he was actually looking at the girls smoking, he pulled a face like this. Wait. Even though he was in black, Mr. Short ain't black. But just think about the facial expression, and this was the exact same facial expression he pulled at the girls. I know, even I'm creeped out about that weird kind of facial expression. And when I was walking, I was so surprised that he was actually there pulling that facial expression. He looked like he was about to rape them. And I did tell the girls I think it's time to go in, because there's a guy at 9 o'clock basically looking at you and looking like he's gonna rape you, and he's my teacher as well, so it's like a bit weird. And so I was like, I don't know, like 10 maybe 15 yards away of actually going into the entrance, and he saw me, and he pulled another face doing this. I know, and I was like, right, we got to get in now before he does something, because he's actually going to rape us. And even though he has a wife and kid, he's actually going to do something to us. And so we all got all the girls in, and yeah, that was basically it. And actually at the end of Envy, he was there around the corner, and he pulled the rape face again. And so we just fucking legged it straight down to the street, because, you know, he was chasing us, and basically we had no other choice to run away, and we were glad. So guys, if he's there again, well, if you see him pulling that face, you know exactly who I'm talking about. So I would, you know, fucking leg it, mate. Seriously, he is going to rape you, whip out his dick, and bum you. And to be honest, I don't really think you would want to get bummed by a person who already has a kid and a wife, because that's just fucked up, basically. So anyway, let's just get on with the Envy story. And so basically we walked in, and to be honest, I got breathalyzed before I even got into the freaking Envy. I think my cousin did as well. And I don't know why you would get breathalyzed, because to be honest, even though it's an under 18, obviously they think you're going to be drinking alcohol. But anyway, so we got him, and at the start we thought it was actually packed, but my cousin thought it was packed, but I didn't think it was. And so, if you watched my first MV story, there was actually these 2 sluts that were bang tidy. Massive big tits, nice ass, and unfortunately they weren't there, even though that it was an LMFO. I think that's how you pronounce their like music band, whatever they are. I thought they would actually be there, but they weren't, so that was a disappointment. But then there was a couple of fit girls, and so the first thing we did was we got a Coke. Yeah, that's how badass we are. We didn't get any alcohol, I'm afraid. Yeah, some Coke, nice stuff. And so we just looked around, you know, was looking around to see if there's any fit girls. You know, you got to do that just in case, because you never know, you might come across a fat girl and, you know, you might not want to go anywhere near, or they could be very fishy. And so we were watching, and I already started dancing because I was like, they started putting good music on. So we sat down, and there was these three or four girls came out of nowhere. And even though me and James started dancing, they just came out of nowhere. They must have thought that our dancing was great. They came over and started dancing with us, and straight away, girls already came at us. And I'm gonna tell you like what we did to impress the girls, because me and James both got swag. Seriously, we're not scared to dance. And they started dancing, and they were all basically fit. And I got my eyes on 2 girls that were fit. I asked the girl if she had a boyfriend, and for some reason she said I might and I might not. So that kind of really pissed me off, because I honestly hated girls what actually say that. You either do or you don't. So obviously the girl was thinking about if she was actually going to want to like either get off with me or not too sure what she was gonna do. So and that girl didn't actually do anything that whole night to me, but like, you know, she kept touching me, which was okay. And they started dancing with us, and they would basically copy everything I was doing because they thought it was funny. And there was this girl who I thought was pretty fit, and this is what was so disappointing. And even though, yeah, it's an under 18, and I am right, so if you look on the date when I uploaded this video, it's 5 days until my birthday, and I'm going to be 16. So just say I was 16 on that night. I asked her friend what was her how old are you two, and the girl who came over straight away dancing with us, thinking that we were funny at dancing and had the swag, she actually she said, oh, I'm 14. And I was like, seriously, you look like you're 15 or 16. Not, well, it wouldn't surprise me if you were just going into 17. And me and James were so shocked that she was 14. And so I asked her other, no, I didn't ask her other friend, yeah. I asked her friend how old she was, and this is the most annoying thing. Even though I thought she was fit, she said she's 13. I was like, what the hell? You're looking like that, putting makeup on, making yourself look older, and you're 13. And me and James's face was like so shocked, just like him. Yeah, that's basically what our face looked like. We were like, what the fuck? Say, you look that amazingly hot, and you're only 13. And she even had a boyfriend, and she actually kept on touching me, and she didn't know if she wanted to go further or lose her boyfriend, basically, because he was in Italy, and she just didn't know what to do. She either wanted to like dance with me or like do wrong things behind her boyfriend's back. But every time I get next to a girl and she wants to do something, she always has to have a freaking boyfriend, and that's what's so annoying. But anyway, and so the next part of the night was these, right, you're not gonna believe, right, I don't know, but at the night there was these three, I think it was, yeah, only three or maybe four girls. This was around about 9 o'clock, I would say, 9:30. And this is when we've already been starting to party. And there was these 3 to 4 girls, and one of them looked like this girl from our school. I'm not going to pronounce her name, but James is going to know exactly who I'm on about. And I'm sure they were only talking to me. No offense, James, but 3 girls came up to me and said, "You are freaking hot. Can we dance with you?" Even now, with the girls who actually know me from my school, you're probably going to be like, "Yeah, Scott, no one thinks you're hot, so you're just lying." But I'm actually being serious. It actually came up to me, and I was actually like kind of scared because I was like, "Okay, thank you. Now fuck off." Because I didn't really want to just hang around with them for the whole night. I only go to nightclubs just to enjoy myself. And they were like, "No, you're actually hot." And I'm like, "Thank you, now fuck off." And no, I didn't actually say fuck off because that's obviously inappropriate. But they were like, "Oh, can I please dance with you?" And I was like, "Okay, I'll dance with you," because they wouldn't leave me alone. And the girl who was actually saying, who wasn't too bad, she was actually okay. Well, I would say she was fit. And then we went on to the pole dancing. And then I was like, "Right, I'm getting out of breath here, James. Come on, can we freaking like go and get a drink or something?" So we said bye. Quickly we legged it straight down to the bar. And she said, "Oh, make sure you come back because I want to dance with you." And I was like, "Yeah, okay." Not that I really wanted to. And James said, "God, isn't she a bit fat?" And I was like, "Oh, thanks." Even though I thought she was fit, now you put that into my mind thinking that she's fat. So all that time I was thinking that she was fat. And she did actually look a bit porky. And it's because what kind of jumper she had on. It made her look a bit chubby. And that's the first thing what came into my mind. So I lost completely interest actually getting off with her. I actually could have got off with her. And I just didn't really want to because James said she was fat, and I was like, "Thanks." And funny enough, well, no, I'm not taking the piss out of fat people, but as I did say in my first my nightclub story, that I do have a type. I think I did, and I mean by like I have a type is that I don't mind obese people, but I don't mean like 20 stone people. I mean like kind of like fat people. But this girl, she was 15. I guessed her age. She was like, "How old do you think I am?" And I was gonna say she's like 20 because like how big she was, and she had like a very mature face and like a womanly face. And I was like 15, and I was actually correct. And I was like, "Wow, bloody hell." And she was pretty big. And what I mean by pretty big, she had swag. Like she was cool. She was kind of a like, "Yo, like, if you take the piss out of me, I'm gonna beat the shit into you," basically. And there is some fat people who are like that, like, you know, when they like wear those caps, like chavvy, like hats. She looked like one of those girls, and basically she looked like that. Now, she wasn't exactly that big, but she was large. And she wanted me to give her a hug, and I was like, "Do I really have to?" I didn't actually say that, but I thought, yeah, no. But first of all, I said I'm not very good at hugs. I'm sorry. And it's like, "Oh no, just give me a hug." And I was like, "Oh, for fuck's sake, just leave me alone." So I thought, right, let's just do it. And then she'd just back off. So I just went like this. And she was like, "That wasn't a hug." And I was like, "Well done. Can you not get the message that I'm trying to avoid you?" And I was like, "I'm not very good at hugs." And so she was like, "Oh, fine." And so I just walked off like, "Come on, James, fucking go, go, go." And he just started laughing. And so for the whole night, those girls were trying to look for us. And from the start of the video, when those 4 girls wanted to dance with us, they just kept on wanting to dance with us. So we basically were dancing with them that whole night. And if you watched our first nightclub story, like the whole thing, there had to be one twat. There's always a twat. Well, there's always a group of twats thinking they're so hard. And there was the same guy who was there. And when we first went to the nightclub, and the nightclub story that I made, when I first actually saw him, I thought he was actually pretty big. And when I actually saw him last night, I was actually thinking that he was actually a bit of a not a weakling, but like a person that could easily be took down because he was just trying to look hard in front of the girls. And these boys were just walking around the club thinking they were all hard, like, yeah, you ain't gonna mess with me, okay, just back off. And because I was talking to this girl, and then we like started to like not play fight, but like started messing around, he actually got like funny, so I walked off. And because I was going past him, he just pushed me. And I just looked at him like, what the fuck's your problem? And I just stood there staring at him. No, I wasn't going to back down because I didn't know what the hell his problem was. And I saw him last time I went, and I was like, right, doing it once is like okay, but like doing it twice is just taking it too far. Like, what the hell is your problem? And I just stood there looking at him, like being serious, like, what the fuck's your problem? And he just looked at me. He knew that I wasn't going to back down, so he just walked away. I was like, yeah, you better back off. And it's funny because when we're dancing, and obviously everyone's going to be shoving into each other, like if they want to get past people. And you got my cousin James, and every time he's dancing, do his moves, like doing that choo-choo and that, he takes it kind of seriously. And it's pretty funny, but he is good at dancing. And some guy just pushed him because he was trying to get through, and we were all like kind of tight, like squeezed into each other. And it was funny because my cousin was like, what the hell, man, you just like fucked up my moves. And I was like, James, seriously, just calm down. And yeah, so he started getting a bit leery. And so basically, he was gonna like have a fight, and so I was like, James, let's just walk away. And so after that, if you didn't, right, going back to my first video, there was this this girl, she was about my age, and James said, hey, isn't that girl who was told you to kept on saying to you, just fuck off? And when I first looked at her, I was like, no, she ain't. And like later on, I looked at her and I was like, oh my god, it actually is. And she actually kept on looking at me, and I was like, I don't think that is actually her. And then she actually told me to fuck off, and I was like, oh my god, it is actually her. And it was funny because I told her to fuck off, but with a smiley face, telling her that I was only joking. And she actually smiled. And she told me to fuck off around about 4 times. I think it was actually only 3 times. And she was dancing with her friends, and she did want to come over, but then she was like, no, I'm not. I'm telling him to fuck off, so I just want to leave it like that. And the 4th time after she said fuck off, or 3rd time, I actually just waved, just being nice, you know, being polite, as you should be. And she actually smiled back, and she actually smiled, and think that was funny because obviously I wasn't going to be seriously being harsh to her, telling her to fuck off, and so that was fine. So I think the next time if we see her, she's going to be fine with me, and hopefully, you never know, she'll be fine. And we got to get on with this bloody video because it's actually taken quite a while. This is actually a very long nightclub story. And basically, near to the end, the fat girl who I was on about, who looked like the guy from Austin Powers, fat bastard. And I'm not saying that she actually looked like him. She was a little bit thinner actually. And she, at the end, we were all walking out, and she said, "Oh, can I have a proper hug this time?" I was like, "Well, as it's the end of the night, you keep freaking keeping on." I thought, right, I'll give you a hug. So I was going about that, and I was like, "Yeah, you gay? Is that better?" And she was like, "Oh, thanks, thanks." And I was like, "Yeah, no, just fuck off." And she was next to her friend. She was hot, and I was like, "Do you want a hug?" And she actually said, "Yeah." And I was like, "Yes." So I gave her a better hug that I gave rather than the fat girl, because I'd rather give her a proper hug. And she was like, "Oh, yeah, you're actually pretty good at giving hugs." So I was like, "Alright." And so yeah, that was fine. And oh yeah, so that's what I forgot. There was these guys, basically, who had like 1970 hairstyle, and they basically had really big hair, and they looked like nerds. They all had a suit on. They were like proper nerds. And right, these are basically all the people. Like, just look at their hair. So we've got this one, and basically not all their hairs look like this, but it was basically similar. And you got this one, and you know the rest. There's only a couple of them, and basically they actually had hairstyle like that. I did take a picture to actually show you what they look like, and unfortunately I had my iPod, and it didn't really take a very good picture because it was dark. And so basically they were freaking awesome, and I actually got them onto the pole dancing and told them, freaking join us now, it'd be so fun. And they were just such a laugh to have a dance with, and they were really fun. So let's just wrap it up, guys. And so right, we all walked out of the nightclub, and going back to Mr. Short, he was actually outside of the nightclub, and he saw me, and he pulled a rape face. Hey, I know, I was actually really fucking scared. Me and James, I said, "James, fucking leg it, we gotta go." And he was chasing us. We got into the car. We told my cousin's dad, "Go, go, go, go!" And he was trying to chase us down the road. And luckily, we just got away. And the funniest thing is that, because obviously when you go into a nightclub, the music's so loud. When you go out of there, you're like, "Oh my god, what ears!" And because I don't know, right? I need to say this because it was actually very shocking. And Johnny, my cousin's, my uncle basically, he was driving, and because obviously we couldn't really hear that loud, he started to talk to us, talking to James, and he was like, James! And James was like, what? And I had to actually call James to say James, because he couldn't actually hear it, because, we had music full blast in our ear. And he, started shouting at James, like, "I'm just trying to fucking talk to you, alright?" And James's face was like, "Oh, I fucking am, man. Take a chill pill." And he basically just started shouting at him, and I was just trying to look away, very shocked that he started taking seriously, and obviously we couldn't hear him, and it was just dead silence all the way there after that. It was so awkward. It must have been the most awkwardest thing that ever happened into our car. So guys, right, just need to quickly say that I'm probably going to skip into the lesson saying this about Mr. Short, but guys, what I was on about my t-shirt didn't actually happen. He basically what happened was, in my class, he said, "If you're going to make another one, he said don't make another one." And I was like, actually no, just because you said that, I'm actually going to make another one, and I'm actually going to include you. And he was like, "You better not." And I was like, "Well, you can't exactly do anything about it." And he was like, "Yeah, I suppose." And so, way, Mr. Shaw, you're a cocky little penis, and you think you're so good at basketball, even though, yeah, you're better than me, but you're so cocky at doing it. And I know I'm cocky in class, but seriously, you're just cocky. And basically, guys, my teacher tries to embarrass everyone in class, and I piss him off all the time in class. I hand him him an assessment, and it's only done one change, and he's like, well, there's fucking 5 changes you gotta do. And I'm like, oh, okay, right. And he's like, right, fucking do it again now. And I was like, okay. And then I've only done another change, and then I give it back, and he's like, you haven't done the changes. And he gets really angry, and then it makes everyone laugh, and I just like do it on purpose, basically, just to annoy him. And yeah, so guys, hope you enjoyed this video. Hope I've made you chuckle at doing it. Making this video. And guys, I'm actually going to be going to a Neo Valentine, so hopefully I'll get off with a girl and hopefully show you the amazing thing. And guys, oh, I've completely forgot to say, guys, if you're going to go to a nightclub, just dance like, not like an idiot, but just don't dance like a girl, but like do some girly dance moves, not like a gay girly dance move, but like just copy a girl, and I think you're funny because you're not scared to dance. So dance and show girls that you're not scared, because I think how me and James danced, girls were just very surprised how amazing our dancing was, because I think how we danced, all the other boys were like, seriously, why would you dance like that? And we were like, guys, we only seen you had one girl come over. And we're getting so many girls. We had girls straight at the start. We were in there straight away. And we were like, ching ching. And so, yeah. So, guys, the next time you go to a nightclub, show girls that you're not scared and actually dance. And just don't dance like a bloody child, just dance like, you know, just dance. Okay, so guys, see you next time, and you might get another video of a nightclub story. Peace!